Welcome to the report for Tiger Mountain, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about the accusations against Ben Roberts-Smith and our soldiers tonight on the report for Tiger Mountain. Stick around. Ben Roberts-Smith did nothing wrong, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You heard it here first on the report for Tiger Mountain, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this is more bullshit being dished up against our soldiers. Obviously, there was this defamation case, that he actually, Ben Roberts-Smith himself, took out against the media. And so they basically, did this kind of, kangaroo trial of him in relation to this defamation case. And he lost by one vote. That they said he did, commit some kind of war crimes, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the issue of war crimes in a battle like Vietnam or a battle like Afghanistan, first of all, let's say this up front. We shouldn't have been in either war, ladies and gentlemen. The Afghanistan war was obviously a globalist war and had more to do with securing the illegal heroin supplies, for the globalist cabal than actually, any other reason. And obviously they wanted to have some response to September 11 as well, and they believed Osama bin Laden was in the hills and all that rubbish. As we all know, he was in Pakistan, in a lovely little compound, having a whale of a time. So anyway, we went to war with Afghanistan, as you well remember, and both Vietnam and Afghanistan, they were very tricky wars, as you didn't really know who the enemy was, and you would go into a village. Sometimes they were VC, sometimes they were Taliban, sometimes they were Muslim extremists, sometimes they weren't, and it's very hard to tell. And I heard with Ben Roberts that he bumped off a couple of people maybe he shouldn't have. Now, in a war, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to happen, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's not really the fault, of the soldier, because they really don't know what's going on, and they figure that's the enemy, you know what I mean? And this is the whole hypocrisy. It's basically all murder is illegal, you know what I mean? But so the majority of the murder that goes on in wars we say is okay, but occasionally one or two people we say, oh, they got the wrong person. Then maybe they didn't get the wrong person. Maybe this person really was the Taliban. Maybe this person really was the Viet Cong. So maybe the soldier was right. And it's really up to the soldier to make that kind of decision, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's terrible that our governments, we drag our soldiers through the media. I think that, we have to accept our soldiers are occasionally going to make mistakes, but, it isn't necessarily a war crime, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean? And I think, if Ben Roberts is guilty of anything, he might have made a mistake in relation to a couple of people, but maybe he didn't. Maybe, the people he killed or is accused of killing really were Taliban agents, etc. So I think it's the fog of war, ladies and gentlemen. So this whole case to me stinks. I don't know the specifics of it. I heard that one of the examples was that it was some kind of old man who, was using a radio, but he wasn't, part of the Taliban. But who knows? Maybe he was. You know what I mean? And you can't second guess soldiers. And obviously, I've noticed the way our left-wing media in this country want to take this defamation case, which, by the way, is a defamation case. It's not as if Ben Roberts-Smith has been charged himself and been, this was kind of a result that came out of a defamation case that's going to be appealed, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not as if he's actually been charged with a criminal offence, but the media, even the right-wing media, went apoplectic over this result and, were calling him basically a war criminal and stuff like this. I just think it's ridiculous. I don't think that's been conclusively proved to any extent. There's that journalist, Nick McKenzie, who's been, on top of this, globalist, a journalist who's been, slandering, Ben Roberts-Smith, etc., etc., etc. I just think it's a bunch of nonsense, and we can't second guess our soldiers. And also, I've noticed the way left-wing media want to turn this into a general attack upon the ANZACs and the ANZAC legacy. If you look at Crikey, if you look at, I think it was even the Age to some extent, they want to say that our kind of hero worship in this country of the ANZACs, that should change because it kind of, fosters a kind of toxic kind of nationalism. I mean, please, piss off. There's no way they're going to bait it. First of all, there's no way. You know how the Australians love the ANZACs. We love the fucking ANZACs, ladies and gentlemen, and there's no way this one case is going to stop that, you globalist cunts. So fuck off. We love the ANZACs, and even if Ben Roberts guilty, we don't give a shit. We love the ANZACs. So you're never going to be able to conflate this into some fucking hatred of the ANZACs. So that's just bullshit. So this is it. I think the whole thing is bullshit, first of all, about Ben Roberts, Smith, but it's even more bullshit than trying to conflate it against the ANZACs. Fuck off. We love them and we always will. And we'll have our revenge.